Pastor Roy Gerhardt from Galloway United Methodist Church in Franklin, Pennsylvania, sharing a few words of encouragement to help us follow after Jesus. Back in school, there were those times that we formed teams, and these were often stressful occasions. Whether the teacher or the coach said, line up and count off by twos, and you counted off 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and you were, if you caught on to what was happening before it started, you might jump around in line trying to make sure that you would end up on a team with your friend. And sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. Or the alternative was that the coach or the teacher would pick out two people to be the team captains and then let them take turns picking from the crowd to build their teams. Well, this was a really stressful event because it was often a measure of your value, depending on whether or not you had the sports skill or the academic abilities for whatever the event was that you were forming these teams to do. I mean, you would either be picked first or last based on whether or not you had something to offer. And it would really measure you out from the best to, well, the worst at those things. I had lots of occasions when it came to sports of being picked, well, if not last, down the line a little ways. I was almost never picked first, except when one of my friends, and especially a cousin of mine, was a team captain. And when this cousin was a team captain, well, it never failed. He would pick me. He would pick me first or very close to the top of the list. And I was blown away because nobody picked me first. And so it was so impressive to me that I still to this day appreciate the relationship that I had with my cousin, that he would bother to pick me first. You know, whenever I look at the Bible and the book of Judges where we're at, I think about the way that God is picking people out to do the tasks that he has. And God doesn't always pick people based on their skill set and whether or not they've got all the things that it takes to do the thing that God is calling them to do. In fact, God is more like my cousin, that many times you see very clearly that God doesn't pick people because they have all the skills needed to do the job. He'll pick people without the skill set, with lacking in so many ways, because of his relationship with them and his ability to provide for them the skills and strengths, the abilities to be able to win the victory. This week we were looking at Deborah and Barak. Neither Barak nor Deborah stand out as people with all of the abilities to do the job that they were being asked to take on. But what Deborah had, well, she had a relationship with God. She was a prophet. She could talk with God and hear from God things that people needed to know for direction in their life, to be able to connect with God and to build a purpose going forward. That's what a prophet would do. They would sometimes offer correction to people when they were off course, and other times give them wisdom and insight, that they would help them to know how to connect with God, to reconnect with God, and to move forward faithfully and obediently in God's purpose. Well, Deborah has that ability, and so she is there for God to give direction to, and she passes along instructions to Barak. Now, Barak is not recognized as some great ruler. We're not even quite sure what his role in life is. But she gave him instruction to rally 10,000 men from the tribes of Zebulun and Naphtali and head out to Mount Tabor. And there, the Lord would bring their enemy to them and hand them over to them. They would win. Well, Barak says, I'm glad to go do this, but only if you, Deborah, will go and do it. This is so outstanding because Deborah is not, in the cultural setting, nor in any way, shape, or form, the first person that's going to get picked for most teams when we're talking about heading out into the battlefield. But God has picked her, and Barak recognizes it, and he picks her too, and says, You're the one. I need you to go do this. I want you to remember that today as you're heading out, that God is picking his teams, not based on whether or not you have all the ability to do all the tasks that he has for you, not based on your value to contribute to his cause. No, God is picking people based on a relationship with him. He's willing to pick you first and employ you and offer to you the skill, the strength, the power from his own hand to give you the victory in life. May God bless you today. And as you share this good news, may God make you a blessing wherever he takes you.